I would like a moment to speak with you about something that's so important to us, to all of us. We've been working for a long time on how to find unity together as a church. And there have been 4 guiding principles that we've been operating under. One of them is mission. Where are we going and who is God inviting us to reach? The second one is community, that what we know more than anything else, just like I said earlier, is that God's asking us to live together in love in such a way that the world says something's going on there. And then we want to have it be a church where we're full of pastoral care for one another. Not just that I care for everybody, but that we care for one another deeply. When somebody's injured and hurt, we care for that. When they're in joy, we care about that. And then finally, what we've begun to realize is that that the church needs to live in simplicity. One of the things where we have really been struggling is the unity around worship. And we've been meeting together as musicians. We have a bell choir, strings, an adult choir, we have a middle school choir, we have kids choirs, we have a worship band. And it is hard to figure out how, and the difference between services like what we've been in today and services that maybe some of you grew up with, where they were a little bit more traditional, and the Lord's Prayer and the Apostles' Creed may have been read on a regular basis, and the service was of a different character in a sense than this. Some people come in to worship and say something like, wow, that's kind of a rock concert and a little sermon there. And some people love that and some people don't love that. And so we've been trying to figure out how do we hold this all together. And we've come to a couple of understandings. One is that what we want to do is not always possible on the weekly grind of Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. But I can tell you that every single musician, we've been meeting together, and every one of our musicians is united and wants to continue to move forward to bless a multi-generational church, to be the church for every generation. So here's what we're going to do starting in 2 weeks. It's an ambitious goal and we need your prayer. In 2 weeks, we're going to add a 3rd service. Now, this might seem to you like we're dividing in order to stay united, and there's some truth to that. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to still have this 9 o'clock worship service, and it's going to be just like this. At 10:30 in Brigham Hall, we're going to have another service, and then at 11 o'clock here, we're going to have an identical service to what we had at 9 o'clock. The service in Brigham Hall is going to be more along the lines of our choir and our choirs leading that. It will be more traditional. And so what we're trying to do is honor that we are a multi-generational church, and we want to honor each one of those generations. And here's the thing, every generation is important. So the reason why we've put this at 10:30 is 2 reasons. One is you all will be getting out to go have coffee at the same time they're coming in. It is so important for us that we see each other and have a chance to love each other in the midst of having coffee. We don't want this to be a place where we don't see who we are, even if we're not worshiping in the same service. The other thing is we believe that each one of those services needs live preaching. We've tried to do worship services where the preaching is on the screen. I'm not saying we won't do that again in the future, but right now what we want to do is every service, so I will be able to be, or whoever's preaching will be able to be in this service the whole time, but I won't be able to give you a lot of time in greeting afterwards because I'm going to be running over to the 10:30 service. I'm going to start with them, preach there, and then I'll run back over here before that service is finished. This 11 o'clock service will already be in process, and then I'll begin to preach over here. Listen, can I tell you, for anybody who's thinking, Kevin, that's too much on you, it's not too much on me. It's an honor to be able to be a part of what God is doing. I'm excited about this possibility. We don't know where it's going to lead, but wouldn't it be great if this room was as full at 11 and that room was as full at 10:30 as we are here, and we all knew that we're one church worshiping together? That's our goal. I can tell you the musicians, as we fought this through and kind of worked this through, we're excited about what God's going to do.